Hello friends, myself S.M. Desai from Shivraj College, Gadinglas. Today we study the subject biology for 12th science. In that we study the topic number 3, that is the inheritance and variation. Next, as we know, the biology, it is a subject which deals with the different branches, and these branches are zoology, botany, microbiology. These are the branches of the biology. Similarly, there is a most important branch of the biology, that is nothing but the genetics. Now, what is mean by the genetics? The genetics, it is the branch of biology which deals with the study of heredity and the variation. This is the branch of biology which deals with the heredity and variation. Now, what is mean by heredity? Heredity, it is the transmission of characters from one generation to the next generation, or transmission of characters from parents to their offspring. It is called as a heredity. In Marathi, we say it is as a अनुवंशिकता. जसं आईचे किंवा वडिलांचे गुण जे आहे ते आपल्याला मुलांमध्ये दिसतात, तर त्यालाच आपण काय म्हणतो, अनुवंशिकता. आणि म्हणजेच आपण त्याला काय म्हणतो, हेरिडिटी असं म्हणतो. तर हेरिडिटी इज द ट्रान्समिशन ऑफ द कॅरेक्टर्स फ्रॉम वन जनरेशन टू द नेक्स्ट जनरेशन. The next is the variation. As the heredity shows the similarities between the parents and the offspring, that variation shows the difference between the parents and the offspring. This is called as a variation. Or even in some species we see the difference. For example, the tiger and the cat, they are from the similar family, but they show the difference, and that difference is called as a variations. बऱ्याच वेळेला आपण असं म्हणतो की हा मुलगा आई वडिलांसारखा दिसत नाही, किंवा तो आई वडिलांसारखा हुशार नाही, किंवा याच्यामध्ये जे आईमध्ये गुण आहेत ते मुलामध्ये नाही आहेत. तर इट इज अ डिफरन्स. किंवा इव्हन आपण बघतो की घरामध्ये जरी जुळे बहीण भाऊ असतील तरी सुद्धा त्यांच्यामध्ये सुद्धा आपल्याला काय दिसतो, डिफरन्स दिसतो. दॅट इज कॉल्ड ॲज अ व्हेरिएशन. Okay, so the heredity and variation, it is studied in the genetics. As the name of the subject genetics come forward, at the same time the name of the person is come forward, and that person is nothing but the Gregor Johann Mendel, who is known as the father of the genetics. Why he is called as the father of genetics? Because he studied how the heredity takes place, how the variation takes place in all the living organism, and so he is called as the father of genetics. As surprising thing is that the Mendel is not a biologist, but he is a mathematician, and even he is a mathematician, he studied on the inheritance and the variation, and so he is called as a father of genetics. Now, which work he carry out, what laws he derived, we can study in the next slide. Before studying his work, we have to know some terms, and for that terms if we understand these terms, then we can understand the laws of the Mendel. Next, there are some terms in the genetics. The first term is the factor. Now, what is mean by the factor? It is the term used by the Mendel for the gene. There is no concept of the gene is explained when the Mendel is carry out his experiment, and so he give the name to the particle which is present in an organism which is responsible for the inheritance and expression of characters is called as a factor. The particle which is transmitted from parents to the offspring and which is responsible for inheritance, that particle is called as a factor. The next is the gene. Gene, it is a unit of the genetics. It is a unit of genetics or unit of the inheritance. It is the segment of DNA. It is a segment of DNA. As we know, the cell is having the nucleus. Inside the nucleus there are the chromosomes, and each chromosome is made up of the DNA, and on the DNA having the segment. Suppose this is the chromosomes, and on the chromosome there is a particular part or particular segment is present of DNA, that is called as a gene, which represent for a particular character. Next is the allele. Allele is the alternative form of the gene. Okay, suppose this is the homologous chromosomes. On these chromosomes, this is the particular part, this is the particular part, or the same locus, and on this same locus the genes are present, and these genes are present for a particular character, and that particular character is known as a allele. The alleles are represented by the particular character. Suppose in case of height, it is a one character. The for character height, there are the two characters, that is the tall and the dark. For tall character, the allele is represented the capital T. For darkness, it is represented by small t. These are the alleles, capital T and small t. They are represented for the tall and darkness. This is the allele. The next is the homozygous. If the homologous chromosome contains the identical alleles, then it is called as a homozygous. Suppose this is the homologous chromosome. Suppose on this chromosome it is having the capital T, it is having the capital T for the character tallness, then it is called as a homozygous, or it is also called as a pure. For example, capital T, small t, these are the homozygous and they are also called as a pure. The next is the heterozygous. An individual having the dissimilar alleles for a particular character. As we say, the homozygous having the identical alleles and the heterozygous shows the dissimilar alleles. Therefore, these alleles are dissimilar. That is, suppose this is the chromosome. On one chromosome, there is a capital T, and other chromosome it is having the small t, capital T and small t. It is having the different alleles. These different alleles are known as a heterozygous. Homo means same, hetero means difference. Therefore, homo shows the similarities and heterozygous shows the difference. That is the capital T and small t. Got it? So this is about the heterozygous. Next is the genotype. It is the genetic constitution of an individual with respect to a single character or a set of the character. Genotype, it is a genetic constitution, means which genes are present for a particular character. For example, for height, there is a genes are present, that is the capital T. For darkness, small t, small t. This is the genetic appearance of that organism, which is called as a genotype. Next is the phenotype, the external appearance of an individual for a given trait or given character. In case of height, suppose the tall person, if we see the tall person, we say that is the tall person. If there is a dark person, then we say the dark. This is external appearance. Okay, the external appearance is called as a phenotype. Next is the F1 generation. Now, what is the F1 generation? As we know, homozygous. Homozygous means what? They have the organism having the similar alleles for a particular character. So, when there is a cross between the pure organism is carried out and the offspring obtained in that the generation is called as a F1 generation. Crossing between the homologous parents, which what say crossing between the homologous parent, and from their crossing there is a offspring is obtained. That offspring or the generation of that offspring is called as a F1 generation. Next is the F2 generation. The generation of offspring obtained by the selfing of F1 individual is called as a F2 generation. As in F1 generation, what we say? That is the crossing between the pure parents. That is the crossing between them. And the generation which is obtained, that is called as a F1 generation. So, in F1 generation, there is a selfing is carried out. And after the selfing of F1 generation, the offspring which is obtained in next generation, that generation is called as a F2 generation. The next is the dominant. The character which is expressed in F1 generation is called as a dominant character. The character which expressed in F1 generation, that is called as a dominant character. Got it? The F1 generation. What F1 generation? It is a crossing between the pure parents. And after the crossing, if there is a one of the character from parent is appearing generation, that character is called as a dominant character. Next is the recessive character. The character which is not expressed in F1 generation. In F1 generation, we cross the pure parents, and crossing we obtain the offspring, and if there is the character of one of the parents is not expressed, that character is called as a recessive character. Okay, so these are the different terms which are used in the genetics, and due to these terms we can explain the Mendel's law. Next, as I said, the most important work is carried by the Mendel, who is a mathematician. Even he is a mathematician, he carry out the work in the inheritance and the variation. And for his work, he select a one plant, and that plant name is a pea plant, or it is also its botanical name is a Pisum sativum. और in मराठी आपण त्याला मराठीमध्ये वाटाण्याचं झाड असं म्हणतो, बरोबर. तर this plant is selected by the Mendel. Then why Mendel select the pea plant for his experiment? Now why not he select other plant like mango plant and other plant? But he select that pea plant due to these reasons. Okay, the first reason is the pea plant is an annual plant with a short life cycle. Okay, pea plant is an annual plant which completed its life cycle within 7 to 8 weeks, and as it completes its life cycle in very short period, the result also get in him in a short period, and therefore he select the pea plant for his experiment. The next, the flowers are bisexual and naturally self-pollinate. Bisexual flower, the pea plant having a bisexual flower. Bisexual means what? There is a presence of both the sex organ, that is the male gametophyte and the female gametophyte. Both are present in the same flower, and therefore that flower is called as a bisexual flower. And as the flower is a bisexual, there is a naturally self-pollination takes place. Next, the next reason is they can be artificial cross-pollinated. They can also be cross-pollinated. Even if suppose the anthers are removed and the pollen grains from other flower are introduced on the stigma, that is called as a cross-pollination, and it can be artificially carried out in this plant. The next, the offspring produced after the cross-pollinations are fertile. Even after the cross-pollination, the offsprings are produced, and from these offsprings or these plant seeds are fertile. From that seeds the new plant is developed. Next reason is the pea plant has a several pair of contrasting characters. The pea plant shows the different characters, and out of these characters the Mendel select the 7 characters which we see in the next slide. Okay. The next is the flower are large enough for easy emasculation. As I say, the plant can be artificially cross-pollinated. Artificially cross-pollinated means what? The flowers are large and it can be easily emasculated. Now what is mean by the emasculation? Emasculation means removal of anther from the bisexual flower to avoid the self-pollination. And after removing the anther from the flower, he introduced the pollen grain from the other flower, and that is called as a emasculation. Emasculation means the removal of anther from the bisexual flower. The next character, that is, it is a small herbaceous plant, so he could grow large number of plants. It is a herbaceous plant. Herbaceous means it is having the height like a grass. It is about only 1 feet height, and therefore he can grow in very small area. अतिशय कमी जागेमध्ये तो काय करू शकत होता, त्याचं प्लांटेशन करू शकत होता, and therefore he does not require the large area for his study. And these are the different reasons that the Mendel select the pea plant. Next, in pea plant there are the several characters are present, and these 7 characters are selected by the Mendel for his study. Which character he study? First is the height of the stem, next is the color of flower, next is the position of the flower, pod shape, pod color, seed shape, seed color. These are the different characters are selected by the Mendel. In that character, some characters are dominant and some characters are recessive. For example, we take the height of the stem. In height of the stem, the character Tall is a dominant and the darkness is the recessive character. The tall is represented, the dominant character is represented by capital letter capital T. Darkness is represented by small letter, that is the small t. Similarly, color of flower, there is the two types of flowers, that is the colored and white. Colored is a dominant character and white is a recessive character. The color character is represented by capital C and white character is represented by small c. It is a dominant, this is the recessive. Next is the position of the flower, that is the axial position and the terminal. Axial is a dominant, terminal is a recessive. Axial shows by capital A, terminal shows by small a. Next, pod shape, it is a inflated and a constricted. Constricted is represented by inflated is represented by capital I and constricted is represented by small c. Next is the pod color. Pod color is a green and the yellow, in which the green color is a dominant, yellow color is a recessive. It is represented by capital G and yellow color is represented by small g. Next is the shield shape. The shield shape is a round, which is a dominant character, and a wrinkle, it is a recessive character. Seed color, it is a yellow color and the green color. Yellow color is represented by capital Y and green color is represented by small y. These are the several characters are selected by Mendel for his study. Next. Now, why the Mendel gets success in his experiment? There are some reasons. Which are these? The first reason is the Mendel chose the garden pea plant for his experiment. It is the first reason. Because as he does not select the other plant, only he select the pea plant, and therefore his experiment gets success. Next, the Mendel concentrate only one character at a time. He concentrate only one character at a time. He does not concentrate on the other character at the same time. He concentrate only on the one character. Suppose he concentrate on the tall character, then he study only the tall character. Then he suppose he concentrate on the flower color, then he concentrate on the flower. So at one time he selected one character. Next, he kept the accurate record. As he carried out the experiment, he kept the accurate record of the every point of that experiment. Next, he used the statistical method for analyzing the result. As Mendel is a mathematician, he used the statistical method for his experiment, and due to that, he kept the accurate record of the every experiment. Next, the characters selected by Mendel were present on the different chromosome. He selected the 7 characters, they are not present on the same chromosome, and therefore these characters are present on the different chromosome. Therefore, it is easy to study the every character. Next, all the 7 pair of contrasting traits selected by him showed the complete dominance. जे characters त्यांनी select केलेले होते, they show the complete dominance as well as complete recessiveness, and therefore the Mendel gets success in his experiment. Next, as the Mendel performed the experiment on the pea plant, he performed this experiment in a steps. There are the 3 steps of his experiment. The first step is the selection of the parent and obtaining the pure line. The most important work in his experiment that he select the pure parent, and for selection of pure parent he carry out the experiment or he carry out the selfing for many generations, and after the selfing he get a pure line, that is he get a pure parent. For example, in case of the height, the pure parent, that is the capital T and small t. These are the pure parent. Until he get the pure parent, he carry out his selfing, and therefore he get the pure line. After that, she carry out the step second, that is the artificial cross of selected parent to raise the F1 generation. He carry out the artificial cross. What he do? He select one plant as a female plant and one plant as a male plant, and after that he carry out the crossing between these these two plants, and that after that crossing he get the F1 generation. From crossing he carry out the most important stage, that is the emasculation. As I say, emasculation, it is the removal of anther from the bisexual flower, and due to removal of anther there is a self-pollination is avoided, and therefore there is a cross-pollination takes place. This is the second step. Next, the third step, the selfing of the F1 hybrid to raise the F1 generation. As I say, the pure parents, which is one having the capital T, another is having small t, and the crossing is done, and after crossing there is a hybrid is formed, and that hybrid is having the capital T and small t. So this is the in F1 generation he get the capital T and small t, that is the hybrid, and these hybrid are self-pollinated in next step to obtain the F2 generation, and in this way he carry out his experiment in these three steps. Next, after that we have to know which are the Mendel's law. There are the three Mendel's law, which is known as the law of inheritance. That is the law of Mendel's law of inheritance. First, Mendel's law of inheritance. Second, Mendel's law of inheritance. Third. These are the three laws, and these three laws are explained by the Mendel, and he carry out the process. Before we studying the laws, how he carry out his experiment, as we study in the last slide, that is there are the three steps, but how that three steps he carry out. So he carry out his experiment in monohybrid cross. Okay, what is mean by the monohybrid cross? The cross between the two pure parents differing in a single pair of contrasting character is called as a monohybrid cross. When there is a crossing is carried out between the two parents having only the single characters. फक्त एका वेळेला फक्त त्याने एकच कॅरेक्टर त्यावेळेला काय केलेलं कन्सिडर करून जे क्रॉसिंग केलेलं होतं त्याला काय म्हटलेलं आहे, मोनो हायब्रिड क्रॉस असं म्हटलेलं आहे. ओके, मग मोनो हायब्रिड, फॉर एक्झाम्पल मोनो हायब्रिड क्रॉस बिटवीन द प्युअर डॉल pea plant and the pure dwarf pea plant. Okay, what he do? He cross between the pure doll and pure dog. Here only one character is considered. Therefore, this is called as a mono hybrid cross. Here is cross is carried out only in the single character. Therefore, it is called as a mono hybrid cross. The pure dog and pure dog. It is the phenotype of their parents. Phenotypes mean what? There is the external appearance of the organism. That is the pure doll and pure dog. The genotypes of these organisms is capital T for pure doll, and for pure dog that is the small t. Genotypes in what? That is the genetic appearance of the parent. That is the capital T for pure dog and small t for pure dog. After that, at the time of gamete formation, the gametes get separated and we get one allele, that is the capital T and small t. From this is the male parent and this is the female parent, and the crossing is carried out, and after the crossing of these two parents, the F1 generation is get, and it is having the alleles, that is a capital T small t, which is a heterozygous, and therefore it is called as a hybrid tall. Here we know that tall character is a dominant character because it is appear in the F1 generation. Therefore it is also this tall character is called as a dominant character which is appear in the F1 generation. Next. After that, the selfing is carried out to obtain the F2 generation. Here is the selfing is carried out in the F1 generation. That is the capital T small t is crossed with the capital T small t. That is the hybrid tall is crossed with the cross with the hybrid tall. This is called as a selfing in the F1 generation. Here is the gamete formation takes place as there are two different alleles are present. Therefore, at the gamete formation we get the two different alleles, that is the capital T small t, capital T small t, and therefore this F2 generation is arranged in a square manner or a chart, and that chart is called as a Punnett square, or it is also called as a checkerboard. In checkerboard, there is an arrangement is done in such a way that male parent is at one side and the female parents are at one side, and this arrangement is called as a Punnett square. Okay, in Punnett square, at this side there is the male parents and here is the female parents. After the crossing, we get the organisms like that. The capital T cross, and there is a tall offspring is obtained. Capital T, small t is crossed, we get the hybrid plant, that is a hybrid tall. Next, the small t, capital E is crossed, we get the hybrid tall. Next, the small t is crossed, we get the dwarf. And in this way, we get the 4 offspring in the F2 generation. If we see the ratio of these organisms, we get a different ratio. Here, the one is the tall, then it is a hybrid tall, this is the hybrid tall, and it is the pure tall. And this ratio is known as a phenotypic ratio. Phenotypic ratio means what? External appearance. Okay, phenotypic means what? And its ratio is called as a phenotypic ratio. The phenotypic ratio is represented by 3:1 for the monohybrid cross, where we get 3 tall and 1 dark. 1, 2, 3. That is the 3 tall and 1 dark. That is the phenotypic ratio, external appearance ratio. And next is the genotypic ratio, means genetic appearance. Here we see the capital T, that is a pure tall. It is a 1 pure tall. Next we get capital T, capital T, small t, that is the hybrid tall, which is having the 2 in number, that is the 2 hybrid tall. And next we get the small t, that is the pure dwarf, that is the 1 plant. Therefore, the genotypic ratio of monohybrid cross is the 1:2, 2:1. Okay. Next, as we study the monohybrid cross, in that we study the single character is considered for the crossing of the parent. After monohybrid cross, we study the first law. What the first law of Mendel says, the character which is appear in the F1 generation is called as a dominant character. Okay, we study the monohybrid cross. This is the use example for the Mendel's first law. In that, we study that pure tall is crossed with the pure dwarf, which is having the genotypes of the parent capital T, small t. We get the gamete capital T, small t. And after the crossing, we get the F1 generation, that is the capital T, small t. And this external appearance of this organism is a tall. It is a tall. And therefore, as this tall parent is characters are appear in the F1 generation, that character is a dominant character. So the character which is appear in the F1 generation is called as a dominant character. This is the first law of the Mendel. Okay. In next lecture we study the next laws of the Mendel. Thank you.